Brother, sit with this. No distractions, no phone, no escape hatch open in the corner of your mind. Just you, the weight in your chest, and the truth that's been waiting for you in the dark. Do you really think your addiction is about the substance, the drink, the scroll, the hit, the woman, the validation? No, it never was. It's about the void, the one you've been dancing around since you were old enough to feel the world was too loud and too empty at the same time. The one you keep feeding because facing it feels like dying. Carl Jung said it plain. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. You're not weak for being rooted there. You're not broken. You're a man who built his entire life on avoiding the descent. And the thing you call addiction? It's not a monster that kicked down your door. It's the loyal servant you hired years ago to keep the real pain out. It numbs the shame. It quiets the voice that says you've fallen short of the man you were supposed to become. It lets you survive the night without having to meet yourself in the mirror. I know this because I've lived versions of it. Not the polished story, the real one. The kind where you tell yourself you're in control while the thing you're controlling slowly owns every morning, every decision, every relationship you still have left. You say, I can stop whenever I want. But the truth is colder. You don't want to stop because stopping means feeling. And feeling, for a man who spent years hardening himself, feels like weakness. That's the lie addiction sells you. It tells you numbness is strength. Detachment is freedom. One more hit is just stress relief. One more scroll is just staying informed. One more night of chaos is just being alive. But every time you reach for it, you're abandoning yourself. You're choosing the cage over the war. And the industries, the apps, the dealers, the algorithms, they count on that. They don't want you free. They want you predictable, numb, and paying. Your time, your attention, your soul. You're not a customer, you're inventory. And as long as you keep calling it coping, they keep winning. Here's what most men never hear. Addiction is not the problem. Self-abandonment is. You reach for the thing because you've been taught, or you taught yourself, that your own presence is unbearable. The silence is too loud. The guilt is too heavy. The truth about who you've hurt and what you've wasted is too sharp. So you outsource regulation to something outside you. And every time you do, the shadow inside you grows stronger because you refuse to look at it. Jung was ruthless on this. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. Addiction is the most elegant avoidance there is. It lets you feel like you're still steering while you're actually the cargo being hauled deeper into the dark. But the shadow isn't your enemy. It's the part of you that learned to survive when no one came to rescue you. It holds the rage you swallowed, the grief you buried, the needs you were told were too much. It learned to self-soothe with whatever was available because that's what kept you alive. When you numb it, you don't kill the pain. You lose access to the fire. The same energy that could build empires, protect what matters, and walk through hell without flinching gets twisted into another hit, another scroll, another excuse. You think healing means becoming someone new. No, healing means reclaiming what you abandoned. The parts of you that were too loud, too angry, too hungry, too real. You don't destroy the shadow, you integrate it. You sit with it until it stops screaming through cravings and starts speaking in clarity. That's the war inside a man, not the dramatic collapse. The quiet, daily choice between the old voice that says, just once more, and the new one that says, I see you. You're not driving anymore. Most men lose that war because they try to fight the urge with willpower. Willpower is a candle in a hurricane. You need something stronger. You need to expand the gap between stimulus and response. When the craving rises, you don't run. You don't shame yourself. You witness it. You ask, what is this protecting me from right now? What wound is it trying to bandage? And you stay, even when it shakes, even when it whispers that you'll always be this man. That pause is power. That's the moment the old pattern loses its grip. Not because you're stronger than it, because you finally stop negotiating with it. You stop treating it like a friend that just wants to help you relax. You started treating it like the defense mechanism it is, one that once kept you alive, but now keeps you small. This is where most men stay stuck. They white-knuckle for a while, then relapse and call it proof they're broken. No, relapse is data. It's a signal that something in your life is still out of alignment. The man who integrates his shadow doesn't fear the fall. He learns how to rise faster each time. He stops abandoning himself when things get hard. He stays present with the shaking, the sadness, the old hunger, and he chooses anyway. That choice becomes ritual, not superstition, not some soft morning routine for Instagram, real ritual. The daily decision to return to yourself. You wake with intention. You move your body because it's yours, not because you're punishing it. You sit in silence even when your mind screams for noise. You eat to nourish. You speak truth even when your voice trembles. These acts are not cute habits. They are declarations. They tell the old self, I'm here now. I'm not leaving again. I won't outsource my peace to anything outside me. And something shifts. Not overnight, brick by brick. You start laughing without the edge of desperation. You set boundaries without apology. You walk past the old traps and they lose their shine. People notice. Some celebrate. Some feel threatened because your presence now forces them to confront where they still shrink. Let them. Your ritual is not theirs to approve. The trap that comes after the breakthrough is the quiet seduction of performance. Once you start feeling the power, the ego will try to hijack it. It will whisper that you should display how far you've come, that you need to prove the change to the world. That urge is just another form of the same addiction wearing a new mask. The need to be perceived as transformed is still slavery to the crowd. True power doesn't announce itself. It radiates in silence. The loudest man in the room is usually the one still starving for validation. The man who has truly faced his shadow doesn't need applause. He needs nothing external to confirm what he already knows in his bones. You don't perform the healed man. You embody him. You protect the sovereignty you fought for. You guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Every time you choose presence over performance, you rewrite the story. You stop living in reaction to the past and start moving in alignment with the man you're becoming. The one who no longer needs the void to feel alive. The one who can sit with himself without reaching for anything to dull the edges. This is not recovery. This is reclamation. You're not becoming someone new. You're returning to who you were before the world taught you to run. Before you learned that feeling was dangerous. Before you decided numbness was safer than truth. The chains were never made of the substance. They were made of the stories you told yourself to avoid the descent. Now you've seen them. Now you know. Knowledge doesn't change your life. Action does. One brutal, honest choice at a time. So here's what you do, brother. Tonight, not tomorrow. Find the place where no one can hear you. Speak the sentence you've been afraid to say out loud. The one that makes your throat close. Let it rip. Let the wave hit. Cry if it comes. Rage if it comes. Then stand up, wash your face, look in the mirror and say, I felt that, and I'm still here. Do it again next week when the armor tries to creep back. Keep doing it until vulnerability stops feeling like exposure and starts feeling like the sharpest weapon you own. Because the world doesn't fear strong men. It fears men who are strong enough to face their own darkness and still walk forward without apology. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are a man who finally decided the cost of staying numb was higher than the cost of facing the truth. That decision alone makes you dangerous in the best way. The void is still there. It always will be. But now it doesn't own you. You own the space. You built the ritual. You chose the war. And every day you keep choosing, the man you used to be loses more ground. This is the work. Not gentle, not pretty, but worth everything. You've already started walking out of one prison. Don't walk into the next one wearing the costume of the healed man. Stay raw. Stay sovereign. Stay dangerous to anything that tries to pull you back into the dark. I'm out here, still doing the work, still choosing presence over escape. The air is different when you stop running. Your move. Rise. Let's go.